नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Tanidars, Kotaris sitting with us all over the world through Nityananda TV and Sadhana TV and two-way video conferencing, having Jnana-Diksha all over the world. Cities sitting with us in two-way video conferencing, Oklahoma, Houston, Toronto, Los Angeles, Temple City, Hyderabad, Gupta Kashi, Seattle, Scottsdale, Arizona, Varanasi, Pudukkottai, Ohio, Surrey, Canada, Jorpati, Nepal, Colombo, Kuala Lumpur, Warrington, Guadeloupe, Singapore, Oman, Rajapalayam, Los Angeles, Hollywood, Grasse, France, Austin, Hong Kong, and some more. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I have something important to tell. That is why I did not read out all the cities' names fully. It is just too overflowing. Today it was overflowing so much. Usually, when I sit for puja and offer the flowers and fall into samadhi, that's the time this downloading happens. Today the downloading was too much. Even eyes became watery and started getting wet. Listen. Just listen to these two words. The logic of experience, one word. We will call it experiential logic. The second word, logic of calculation, whether multiplying, subtracting, adding, deleting. The logic of calculation. We will call that, I'll give a new name, exponential logic. Just by multiplying or subtracting exponentially. Logic applied used the exponential levels. Understand these two logic, you will understand how you are missing some of the greatest experience of life by getting caught in a blind logic. It is like instead of cooling glass, you are wearing a complete no glass, just two black stones fixed in a frame. If you get two black stones fixed in a frame and wearing it, in thinking it is a cooling glass, and saying that whole world has become dark, who is responsible? So, if you are using exponential logic for experiential matters and go on claiming experience is not happening, who is responsible? So listen. Listen. This today's one satsang alone is enough to give you the experience and cognition and clarity. Shivoham. Listen. Listen sincerely. The Nakiran is the only guy seems to have argued with Mahadeva, knowing the guy who is standing in front of him is Mahadeva. I tell you, then they both must have had some sweet relationship. I am giving you the insider's secret. Otherwise, you will not have a guts to argue. Even if I argue, whatever is said and done, end of the day, he will not forsake me. He will not give up on me. I am avimukta. The guy must have had that kind of a confidence that he is avimukta. Because earlier many times Nakiran was saved by Subramanya from demons, devils, Rakshasi, one Rakshasi. So there are a lot of confidence in Nakiran that is avimukta, never forsaken. Otherwise, he will not have guts to argue with Mahadeva, knowing that Mahadeva only has come. You need to have a story line. Once there was a king who had a doubt whether women have a natural smell in their hair or it is because of the perfumes and flowers. And the king said, whoever clarifies my doubt, I'll give 1,000 gold coins. Like those days, $1 million kind of a lottery. One priest of Sundareshwara's temple, in the Sundareshwara's temple priest community, that Bhattar community, Bhattar, Dikshitar, all of them have a tradition. Unless you are married, you can't perform the rituals. You need to be married to perform the rituals. Even now, the Dikshitas families, at the age of 15, 14, the boys get married. Because unless you are married, you can't do the puja. It's a tradition. So this priest wants to get married because he can start the ritual. But he needs money. He went and asked Sundareshwara. Sundareshwara is a living God. Please understand. He was never a dead statue. He was a living God, just continuously responding to people, and came down in human form again and again and again. Came down, coming down. Again, yet to come down. He's a living Swarupa. The priest goes to him and asks, give me money. Mahadeva gives a verse, says, this verse will clarify the doubt of the king. Go and give it to him and take the 1,000 gold coin. He wants to do some leela, otherwise he could have directly given 1,000 gold coin. Why you should take this and go to Mahadev, go to the king and take the Anyhow, this guy, the song exactly actually means that women have a natural smell in their hair. That is the Mahadeva's song, the meaning of Mahadeva's song. So this guy goes to king, and king was very happy with this song, and he was about to give the money, the 1,000 gold coin. Then the Nakira jumps into the scene and stops. No. And then he says, no, this song is not the truth. Then the priest goes and cries to Mahadeva, what is this? You should not have done this to me. At least if you have not given the song, I would not have suffered all the defamation and disrespect. Mahadeva, ever compassionate, he himself assumes the human form, picks up the palm leaf on which he wrote the song in the form of a poet, comes down, comes to the court directly, and argues with Nakira. Two things you need to understand in that whole argument. I'll try to describe some of the few important points in that argument. First thing, Nakira is highly integrated. Understand? He is highly integrated. He is so clear that women's hair has no natural smell. I don't know whether smell is the right word. Fragrance. No natural fragrance. The argument starts. You need to look into this whole scene to understand some of the things. Mahadeva himself says women have their hair as natural fragrance. And here is Nakira, who is so highly integrated, says no. What is actual truth? Why this conflict? No one has solved this mystery. Understand, first time I am revealing and solving this mystery. Listen. Yeah, high intellectual beings lose the smelling sense. The high linguistic, a logical, please understand, poets are not always heart-centered. When they are centered on the content of the poem, the romance, love, joy, they are heart-centered. When they are centered on the the verbal beauty of the poem, they become logical-centered. Understand, when the concentration is on the verbalization, putting the beautiful, best, organized, arranged, rhythmic words, it is more an intellectual jugglery, organizing of different words. Listen. Poetry is the very complex art. For example, painting, you can be just soaked in the emotion, in the heart. For your hand to do the work of painting, you don't need the support of intellect. Carving, you can just be soaked in that experience. For your hand to carve, you don't need the intellectual support. Dancing, you can just be soaked in that emotion, heart. For your body to jump and demonstrate the whole emotion, you don't need intellectual support. But for poetry, you can't be soaked in that emotion. You need intellectual support also. You need to pick up the right words, organize it in the rhythmic way, present it in a very grammatically perfect way. The dramatic and grammatic, both perfection. The dramatic perfection, which is emotion based, grammatic perfection, which is intellectual based, both needs to be happening in poetry. Nakira was just 1% more grammatic than dramatic. He missed. He was little more bent on organizing the words than being established in the heart. Who will correct him? Only he has to correct. There is nobody who can argue with him in the whole world other than Mahadeva. So he comes down. That is so exactly touching the point of smell. Understand? If you are a poet, still you have a high sense of smell. Be very clear, you are more centered on the heart. You being a poet will do more good to you, and you are a real poet. Any poet who loses the sense of smell means he has become more grammatic than dramatic. His verses are more verbal jugglery than expression of emotion. You lost kavitva in your kavi identity. You lost poetry in your poet identity. Highly intellectual, verbal people, the first thing they lose in their life is smelling sense. The first drying up happens due to the overeating of brain. Please understand, brain overeats yourself. When your brain overeats you, the first drying up happens in your system is sense of smell is lost. Nakira lost that. That is why he can't catch the subtle sense of the fragrance, subtle fragrance of women's hair. Women hair. We do not have a reference whether Nakira was married or not, but surely he had mother and he was not away from the city. He was in the city. He had mother and so many women are around him. Surely he would have had the opportunity to come near the hair. That, no doubt. But unfortunately, because he lost the sense of smell, he never experienced the fragrance. And the next important thing, that is what is directly relevant to today's satsang. He is not stopping with experiential logic. You see, I would have smelled some 10 or 20 women in my life. Only 20, 30 women. The possibility for going near their hair and smelling would have happened in my life. I had opportunity maybe 20, 30. Then Why should I not tell directly that as far as I know, my experience goes, women do not have natural fragrance in their hair. That is experiential logic. But because his head has eaten more part of himself, his being, he applies exponential logic. He says, not only any women of the human planet, even the other planets, or the Saraswati herself, or ultimately the Devi who sits left to Mahadeva himself. Has he smelled her hair? Has he smelled Saraswati's hair? That is where he misses the experience. Sometime you stick to exponential logic and miss Mahadeva standing and pointing experiential logic to you. Mahadeva again and again comes to you as Guru and points out experiential logic, and you go on, hold on to exponential logic and argue with him. Like I have 10,000 Nandis. I can really be proud. Not arrogance or pride. Proud was also a wrong word, maybe. I can really celebrate. Surely I have many more people dedicated like Nandi. Mahadeva had only one Nandi. I have so many Nandis. He had only few bhutas. I have so many bhutas. And same way I want to tell you, he had only one Nakira. I have so many Nakiras around me. So many people arguing with me. For all my Nakiras, I want to tell you guys only one thing. When Mahadeva came, till this scene of Nakira saying, women have no natural fragrance, is okay. But when Mahadeva asked the question next level, the moment he uttered the word, all women, Nakira should have backed out. Should have said, no, I can only talk from the experiential logic. I cannot make that into exponential logic. He would have immediately had enlightenment. His heart and head, his head and heart would have been balanced. His more grammaticness would have come down and balanced. He would have been balanced between grammatic and dramatic. When there is no balance between dramatic and grammatic, life becomes dramatic. It becomes a drama. Saraswati, who is sitting in his tongue, He goes to the extent of saying, even for that Saraswati, there is no natural fragrance in her hair. Which is, understand, because your logic has helped you in many places in your life, don't think it can be a help forever. Because a boat helped you to cross the river, which is really dangerous, do not think the boat can help you ever for traveling in your life. The guy saw the dangerous river, but fortunately had the boat, and with the help he crossed the river. After crossing, he started carrying the boat on his head. Somebody asked why? No, it helped me to cross the river. Now it will help me to cross the land. You are a fool if you think just because it has helped you to cross the river, it will help you to cross the land also. Same way, logic. Because the logic has helped you many times in your life. Especially Nakira's all the glory is nothing but his logic. Just the way he is able to organize the words got him the position of the chief poet. And the chief poet was more respected in Pandya kingdom than the king himself. Even king was expected to be poet, not just administrator. Because the logic has helped him, got so many wonderful things in his life, he unfortunately, unconsciously, arrogantly jumped into exponential logic by turning a blind eye to experiential logic. That is why he missed something even when Mahadeva came down to give him. And then he goes to the stupid level of saying, even if you are Mahadeva, what you said is wrong. That is, I think Nakira lost his balance. He lost even that space of avimukta, never forsaken. Yes, you will be never forsaken as long as you maintain the umbilical cord. Even if you pull that cord out, how do you think you will be never forsaken? Because only through that cord you are protected. When you pull that card out, you tell the Mahadeva, no need, don't help me, don't interfere in my life, don't interfere with me. Listen, in your life, so many times, you are playing with exponential logic instead of looking at experiential logic. One of the unfortunate things, whenever you have pain and suffering, you will always feel your whole life is going to be like that, because with the pain and suffering, the exponential logic works more. that gets more strengthened. With the joy, experiential logic gets more strengthened. Understand? This whole story of Nakira is all about exponential logic and experiential logic. Mahadeva speaks from experiential logic. Nakira spoke from exponential logic. Nakira is highly integrated but not authentic. When he uttered the word, women do not have natural fragrance, he was integrated. When he uttered the word, all women, he became inauthentic. Now, I want you to look in and do acid wash of your belief systems. Whatever belief system you carry about you. For example, morning 4 o'clock you will be tired, sleepy, not feeling like waking up and doing yoga. If it was your experience for one day, you will make that into exponential and start believing forever. Morning 4 o'clock, I cannot do anything. My morning 4 o'clock, I will be tired and no yoga. Same way. Satsang, I don't understand much. Swamiji speaks in English and that also in some level English. One day, if you make that as an experience, you do not just hold on, today I don't understand, maybe in next few days I may understand. You don't keep that opening left for life to happen. You burn the whole land with exponential logic, so the possibility never grows. Understand? A burnt land, unless it is plowed again, no seed will grow. Burnt land means literally brick. The surface has become like a brick. On brick, no seed will grow. Unless it is plowed again and it becomes loose or few rain. When you burn your exponential, please listen, when you burn your future with your exponential logic, the possibility seed never grows, enlightenment fruit never happens. Yes, no doubt. Till yesterday you did not experience Shivogam. Yes, no doubt. Till today when Mahadeva gave the initiation of Shivogam, it came inside, went this side. And sometimes did not even came inside, took diversion and went that side. Yes, no doubt. But you don't have to make that experience into exponential logic. Like, oh, forever it is going to be like this only, so nothing to be done, just give up, eat, drink, be merry. But the funny thing is, just by eating and drinking, if you can be in merry, I have no problem, be. You will not be. Because the second day you will think, oh, today I got to eat and drink. Tomorrow if I don't get, what will happen? Let me take it from others. And that will create conflicts. Just eat, drink and be merry. If you can, great. But you won't. So eat, drink, be merry is an illogical statement promoted by materialistic people. Be merry never happens. It is like a happily married ever after. See, there are Mahavagyas. Prajnanam Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. Eternal truths. Shivoham. Now I am giving the new Mahavagya. Nityanandoham. All these are eternal truths. Same way there are some statements, eternal lies. Happily married ever after. No, happiness can be brought into the marriage when you have a beautiful image about the other person, means beautiful idea about the other person and life. I am not saying happiness and marriage don't go together. I am saying it doesn't go together naturally. It has to be done consciously. In that way, even sannyas and enlightenment does not go hand in hand together naturally. Just because you are sannyasi, you cannot be called enlightened. Even that way, enlightenment has to be built. Even in sannyas. Of course, for my sannyasis, I have given a boon and commitment. When you guys leave the body, I will liberate you. That is totally different. Once I have given sannyas, I cannot forsake anybody. I don't want to tell more secrets. But the truth is, I cannot forsake them. Once sannyas is given in front of the Agni, the Vrajahoma Agni, the commitment, the declaration is done. I declare you as Swami, so and so, over. Listen. Whether it is building happiness in marriage or bliss in sannyas, you have to build it. You have to make it happen. You can't say natural. Just like these few statements, happily married ever after. These are all eternal false. Listen. Listen. Measuring your life with exponential logic is what I call illusion. Because I did not experience Shivoham yesterday, tomorrow also I may not, is illusion. Yesterday does not make tomorrow. Whoever believes yesterday makes tomorrow is not living. They are called dumbos. Whoever makes today, whoever understands today makes tomorrow, only they live. Blessed are those who believe, cognize, today makes tomorrow. Fools are those who believe, yesterday makes tomorrow. Let experiential logic be alive in you more and more for your cognition and running the life, not exponential logic. Not exponential logic, but experiential logic. With experiential logic, you will always remember the possibility. You give the space for more and more possibility. Till yesterday it did not grow, does not mean tomorrow it will not grow. Shivoham can happen even today, even tomorrow, even next moment. Keeping the possibility alive. Listen, keeping the possibility alive is what I call being a seeker. I am defining who is seeker. Seeker is not the man. In the modern day, being a seeker is a fashion. Pick up your handbag and without losing the lipstick touch up, go to the nearest big guru and shake your handbag and do some social service. And between when it sweats, wipe it with a tissue touch up. Between, make a few phone calls to people and say, I am doing service. Do you want to listen to my guru? He is giving satsang. Love is giving. Dharma is giving. Then coming out and having some friends to catch up. See, I'm a seeker for last 35 years. They don't even know this is a defamation for their guru. Now, if you tell you are a seeker for 35 years, it's a defamation for your guru. I am defining being a seeker. Listen. Whoever moves in his life with the cognition of experiential logic keeps the possibility open, alive, in his beliefs about himself and life, is seeker. Keep your possibility alive. Only then you are a seeker. I am neither a guru who makes you seek for years and years, nor the guru who promises everything quicker. No. There are quicker gurus. where you can just go in the internet, tuck, tuck, swipe your credit card, enlightenment parceled. In eBay, you receive the enlightenment. I am neither the quicker guru nor the seeker guru. Keep your possibility open. Keep your possibility alive. And I tell you, and I'm really telling you, life simply flowers into Shivoham when you keep the possibility alive. Move with experiential logic, not exponential logic. Essence of today's satsang. The punchline for Facebook status for all of you today. Move the life in the space of experiential logic, not in the pace of exponential logic. Maybe in this outer world, exponential logic will be useful for something, but that does not mean that is the complete life solution. Brick can be used to build buildings, not for breakfast. Gas cylinder is useful for cooking. That does not mean you will make your body into a gas cylinder. Yes, you need to carry the gas cylinder wherever you go, but not inside the body, outside separately. I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching and causing eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.